I've been kind of comparing it to being in a bad relationship. When you're in love and it's just starting out, it's all shiny and bright and awesome. But then once it actually finally ends, you realize what everybody has been telling you all along, and you just feel so blind. Hey guys, it's Amanda, and today I'm going to talk to you about my experience working as a distributor for Itworks Global. So I actually already sat down and did this video, but I really wanted to re-record it because I know it's a sensitive topic and I really want it to come out correctly. And I've got my little recording partner here. She's like laying on me as I'm doing this. So, hi Charlotte. Okay, so I've mentioned it before on my channel that about a year ago, I got involved with Itworks. And this is not going to be just a bashing MLM video because that was not my entire experience. There's good, there's bad, and I'm just gonna give you what happened to me. I have been upfront about this even when I was full on a part of Itworks, that before I had tried any of the products or joined in any capacity, that I was so skeptical about Itworks. I was the kind of person that if anyone had it on their profile, I would not add them to my Instagram, I would not add them to my Facebook. I wanted nothing to do with them because I knew that I was gonna have to see their weird posts about buying their product, and I was most likely gonna be followed up immediately, not even after getting to know me, with a message about buying their wraps. Which at the time I thought that was all they had, and that was not my thing. I didn't really want to have anything to do with that. So my sister actually was buying from somebody, and I think I gave her a hard time about it at first, but when I got my diagnosis of PCOS and they were worried about diabetes, my sister said, hey, try these greens. It's like a way to have chocolate without really having chocolate, and it could help with your sugar cravings, stuff like that. So I was into it, and I actually ended up really liking them. So that kind of like paved the way for when the person that I enrolled with reached out to me, because I already kind of had an open mind about it. I already knew my sister liked the products and I liked one of them at least. So when she reached out to me, the thing that I liked is that she was like, hey girl, you're so beautiful, like, want to try these products, blah blah blah. And I just really found something different about the way she approached me as opposed to what I was used to with messaging and stuff. So I was cool with that, and I already, like I said, had tried something, so I let her give me more information. I didn't think the products were really that expensive for what they were, and I decided to give it a try. And I figured, you know what's the worst that could happen? Once the 3 months are over, then, whatever, I'm done. So the first thing I tried was the cleanse, and this is what got me hooked, because when I found out I had PCOS, I had started changing my lifestyle to be healthier, but I was not really seeing the weight on the scale go down, which was like super upsetting to me. So when I had tried this cleanse, yeah, I had seen posts like, okay, you lose like 9 pounds in 2 days, and that didn't happen, but I was okay with it because the scale started to go down and it continued to go down. So I really felt like my system had been like cleared out or whatever. And I really liked the other products too. So when I saw her post about doing this business and like that she was able to make this extra money on the side and stuff, I thought, you know what, like, based on our situation, like we were living with our in-laws at the time, what could go wrong? Like, what could possibly go wrong? Why not give it a try? You spend $99 and you get some products for it, and like, I'm already buying it anyway, so why not? Like, I wasn't really into the wraps, which is what you got at the time, but she said that you could sell them and make your money back. And honestly, I didn't sell them, but I did make my money back pretty quickly. So I didn't feel like there was really anything for me to lose. So I figured I would give it a try. And that's where it all started. So I know what you're thinking. Amanda, this is clickbait. I thought you were going to give us the tea on Itworks. But yeah, I'm just getting started. I know this all sounds like it was fine and good, and that's how it was in the beginning. And the reason, honestly, that I started was not for the money. Like some people I know, there's people out there trying to be stay-at-home moms, you know, make the big coin or whatever. But I genuinely liked the products and really thought that if they could help me, they could help somebody else. And I think that was my biggest struggle with doing this business, because so many people are out there just to sell to people. I feel like that gave me an extra level of blindness, because I literally was changed by these products at the time, and I so badly wanted to share that with others that I used that kind of as a blinder to the negative people. So that's where it was. Like, I went into it with a pure heart, wanting to help people to lose weight or get healthier hair and skin or make extra money, not just to join my team and help me make money or sell to them so I make money. And I feel like because of that, like, I was so invested that it was so hard for me to see what some people were saying. And like I said, it did start out really great for me. Not like in some horror MLM stories. It was not just like I was in my inner circle selling to my friends and family. That just felt bad for me. I was actually on Instagram and Facebook, and a lot of the contacts in my phone actually were people that I just had met through Itworks, and they had decided that they wanted to give it a try. I was feeling really good about it because I had gone outside of my circle, and yeah, my circle supported me, but a lot of them actually weren't really interested in the products, and they didn't like pity buy it from me either. So I didn't have that problem. I know that that's like a common thing that as I've been watching videos about MLM, that's what they say, like, you just are selling to your friends and family. For me, that wasn't the case, but I'm sure that it is for a lot of people. I had people that genuinely wanted to be on my team. I didn't have to beg or grovel. I had my sister on my team. Like I said, she had already liked Itworks. I had a few friends, and then the girl above me put a few people on her/my team. So everything was going well, and I had promoted, my sister had promoted, and it just seemed like everything was happening very quickly, and we were doing so well. I was definitely just in such a groove and felt like I was helping so many people that it just perpetuated all of the things that are to come in the future of this story. So in order to understand, I guess, the rest of the story, I have to backtrack and talk about what happens when you join. So when you join, you watch a bunch of training videos. Most of them are on YouTube. They have stuff on their website, but most of it is just kind of other distributors that are trying to help you out. And you get, at least in my team, this is what happens. You get added to this group, and they have a saved post with all of these different posts. I'm sure you've seen some of them that you can post on Instagram, Facebook about the products, which is definitely good when you're getting started, but I feel like it needs to only be when you're getting started, because it just becomes so repetitive and scripty, and we'll get into that more later. But they also literally send you a script, and this was like the first thing right off the bat that just rubbed me the wrong way, but I looked beyond it because of my love for the products and the fact that I was feeling so successful at the time and didn't feel like I was really relying on these things. So they give you a script, and of course, what is on there but how to message, you know, your possible customers. And it's like, hey girl, you're so beautiful, blah blah blah. Now I understand, like, I mean, it's fake to a degree, but I do understand, like, complimenting people. For me, I didn't copy that exact script for the longest time. I actually was going to people's Instagrams and Facebook profiles, looking up something about them, saying, hey, I see that you're into fitness. Would you be interested in these weight loss products? Like, I was generally trying to connect it to their life and why they might want it. And I think that's why I was doing so well in the beginning, and I kind of wish I would have stuck to that. And I feel like my posts, like, even I was going through my Instagram today, I feel like they were more genuine in the beginning, and I got more and more fake as time went on, and I'll explain that to you why that probably was, because you would think like the more successful it would be easier and easier, but it was actually harder and harder. So as I said, my sister and I both kept promoting, and I actually got put into this group chat full of other people that were promoting quickly, and they called them like the runners. So I was super excited to be in that group. As much as it was supposed to be inspirational, it was not my sort of inspiration. One of the big things in the group was kind of patting yourself on the back every time you got a customer, which, yeah, I definitely feel like you should celebrate your wins, but I feel like that made it feel like such a numbers thing, like, oh, got another one, oh, got another one. And for me, it was pressuring, because I felt like the people in the group, they were getting like, where I felt really great that I was getting like 1 to 2 or 3 people, maybe even a week. These people were getting like 1 to 2 to 3 people a day. And I was like, wow, what the heck are they doing that I'm not doing? I don't understand. So obviously wanting to be more successful and thinking about like how extra money could help my family, or like reaching out to more people could help them, I thought like I need to do what they're doing. So they were messaging like 100 people a day. Like, when you're not doing anything, message. When you're not doing anything, post. When you're not doing anything, follow people. So when you're trying to mass message so that you can mass enroll, that involves sending messages quickly. So when you're sending messages quickly, the thing that I was doing originally, which was, taking the time to look at people's profiles, get to know them, I feel like I kind of just threw that out the window. So whereas my heart was pure before, and I was looking to help people, even though that was still my mindset, I was losing sight of that so that I could enroll more people and be more successful and get more money. And it became, I guess, for me, more about that. And that's what I felt pressured to do, because I wasn't jealous, but the thing was, like, I felt judged. And maybe no one was judging me, and that could have been my whole own mindset. But when you have every single person in the group being like, I enrolled someone, and you're the only person in the group not saying anything except for like once a week, yeah, maybe that makes you want to strive to work harder. But for this purpose, like, working harder was kind of quantity over quality. Like, so I just started sending out that, like, hey girl, you're so beautiful, rather than like the more specific messages that I was sending out so that I could send more. Like, I remember setting an alarm on my phone telling me like every hour to talk to 10 people. And that's when the negativity started. Like, oh, just don't message me, and like, oh, you're just trying to sell me stuff. And it's like, I wanted so badly to be like, no, I'm not. And like, I tried to defend myself so often, but I mean, the truth is, looking back, I mean, essentially that is what I was doing. A lot of people would be like, well, you're singling people out. You're singling out overweight people and stuff. I mean, I was trying to obviously find people like me, and I didn't feel like I was singling out. It was more in my head, like, if this helps me, maybe it could help you. And I tried not to just like prejudge someone and be like, oh, they want weight loss products. It could have been anything. They could have wanted skincare. They could have wanted whatever. I don't know. But the point is that, like, with posting and stuff, I feel like I regressed. Instead of going forward and continuing to make my own posts, I feel like I had to be more salesy, whereas I guess I should have been less. I don't know. That's where I was at. So I decided that I wanted to start self-developing more, which is one of the good things that came out of this Itwork thing. I wasn't really doing self-development before, but I feel like it's really important, whether you're in business or, just, living day to day. I feel like you should be trying to read books and watch YouTube videos that inspire you and help you grow as a person. So I'm really happy that it helped connect me in that way. Yeah, so I started doing that more, and I started slowing down with the messaging and started to try to go back to where I started, where I was actually being considerate about the messages that I was sending out, taking more time in the things that I was posting and not making them so directly salesy. I was trying to do more attraction marketing. And about that time, we were also going for a promotion that had a $5,000 bonus. Now, my sister had just got a $1,000 bonus. And the thing that sucks with the bonuses is that you have to maintain your rank in order to continue getting the bonus. So if you get a $1,000 bonus for going to, use my sister as an example, you have to stay Ruby. But also the thing is, to get to these ranks, you have to have a certain amount of sales and a certain amount of people under you. And all of those people have to have a certain amount of sales. So you end up kind of building your team unless you have people underneath you actually like enrolling customers. What seemed to happen in our team group is that there was like 3 or 4 of us that were working, and everyone else was kind of just a box. Like, that's how you view those people. They're just there. They're kind of like a placeholder, and you can put people under them. Now, it does carry over month to month, but people can change their orders, which changes the amount of, like, we'll call it's BV, but we'll call them points or something. It changes like the amount that it counts towards your promotion. And then, sometimes people's 3 months are up and they decide to cancel, so then it's completely nothing. Depending on where this is happening and what you're doing, if you're building your team and putting people underneath other people, and no one is working for that person, then you need to enroll the amount of customers for the entire chart. And that's like possible for some people, I guess, but it was really stressing me out. And I think that also fueled that mindset of, I need to get customers. No longer, I need to help people. I need to share this product that I love with people. It was, I need to get customers. I need to get people to join this business. I need to do this. Like, it just wasn't as laid back anymore. And when it was coming for the time of my promotion, I kind of stopped caring about that side of it. Like, I loved the product still, and that's why I hung on, but I wasn't motivated to talk to people that way, like to just reach out to them to sell them something. I was starting to create genuine connections with a lot of my followers. I still talk to some of them to this day, and I didn't want it to be like that, because sometimes people that I had genuine conversations with, because I kept bugging them, decided not to talk to me. This is one of my biggest horror stories, I think. I was watching this training, and she had said to say something like quirky if people stop responding to you, like, oh, did you get abducted by aliens, which is haha funny. But one of the things she said was to say, did you die? And I wasn't sure about that, but I did say it to one person, and she responded to me, and I was so mortified, because she is like, that is so disrespectful. No, I did not die, but you know what? My father-in-law just had a heart attack. He's in the hospital, and then I get this message from you. And I was shook, to say the least. Like, I felt so bad. I was so heartbroken for her. I apologized immediately. I let her know, thank you for letting me know, because I was not trying to be like that, and I do not want to be like that with anybody else. So I never said that again or did anything like that, because that was like a turning point for me where I realized, wow, I have really, like, because that wasn't necessarily something I wanted to do. It was just, it worked for her, so I thought I would give it a try, and it wasn't me in the end, and I don't know. So I changed from that. Another thing was like posting posts that work for you before, before and afters. There was this one of the cleanse that where she lost like the 9 pounds. But the caption to it was like, so my friend just texted me, and like when I first started out, I didn't even use that language because I knew that that sounded sketchy, especially because I had messaged it as like an example to a couple people of what it can do. I don't know why this one day I decided to post it and use like pretty much the words, and I got called out. This girl, that I had connected it with through Instagram messaged me, and she's like, see, this is why like people don't like these companies, because you shared that blah 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 date. She actually went through and looked it up, which I don't know why she had so much time on her hands, but she's not wrong. And now you're posting it now saying that you just got this text, and I'm like, yeah. You're right. And the toxic part of that mindset at the time was also anyone who said anything like that, they would just tell you to block them, whatever, they're negative. But at that time, it made sense to me because it felt like people not supporting you, and that's what I told myself. But now looking back, it seems so toxic, especially because a lot of those people would tell you to block even people that were close to you. I remember my aunt posted on something, and I think she was just joking around, but I had somebody tell me to block her, and I was like, I'm not blocking my aunt. I'm not. There were some people I would block that aren't close to me, but like that mindset is so toxic. Like, I believe like it's okay to let go of people that are negative in your life, but to just have somebody say their opinion or call you out and then just block them, like just no questions asked, block. You leave the business, block. I don't know. It's just not, it's not good. So I was getting called out more. I felt so ingenuine. So I decided that I was going to change things up. Now, when I did that, like I said, we were coming on promotion time, and not only was I up for a promotion, but also my upline was going for the promotion above me. And in order for her to promote, I also needed to promote. And that's when things got a little dicey, because one big thing is when you enroll somebody, if you help them get their first 4 customers and they reach a certain amount in before their 30 days, you also got a $100 bonus. And we were told in the beginning that was always the first thing you go for. So you want to, like, if you're going to move your customers, move them under your new distributor, help them out, help them get their shopping spree, help you get your $100 bonus. And it felt really good in that way, that you were helping them and they were helping you. It felt very like, I don't know, like a very supportive environment. However, when we were going for these promotions, all of a sudden they were telling you to put it under the person that's going to help you get the promotion. And then like you ask them like, well, what if I don't get this and I can't get them to where they need to be in their first 30 days? Like, oh, you will. Like, don't talk like that. You couldn't talk like strategy as if like, well, what if this doesn't happen? You just had to magically believe that it was going to happen. And I'm all for like the law of attraction and stuff, but at the same time, I'm also someone that believes in having a sort of game plan. Like, if you believe that you can get it that way, then why not do the thing you should do first and then fill in for the promotion? Like, shouldn't it be the opposite way? I don't know. I had slowed down, and as we were nearing this time, they started reaching out to me, and by they I mean the people of this group chat that I had been involved in, which included my upline and her upline. And to be honest, they asked me why I hadn't enrolled as much that month, and I tried to tell them what I was dealing with, maybe hoping they would give me some advice. And what my upline's upline told me was that I knew what I was doing wrong, I was holding myself back, essentially that it was my fault. And I'm not the kind of person to put the blame on other people, but I needed a strategy. What was happening to me a lot at the time was people were saying they were going to order, and then when the day came, they would just not respond. They wouldn't say they weren't interested anymore, nothing. So I was kind of hoping for some sort of like, well, you should say this, or why have you tried this, or whatever. And I was just told that it was my fault. It was my mindset. I was making this happen. Okay. There's not much I can do about that, I guess. And especially because, like I said, I was doing all that self-development. It was really hard to have somebody tell me that it was because I wasn't doing enough work. I wasn't doing enough mindset work. I was just being overly negative, and it was essentially my fault. I just had a real problem with that. So I kind of went, as the month went on, and I knew at the end of the month essentially that I was going to kind of like cut ties with them, because I just couldn't do the business like that anymore. I couldn't. So we got to the last day of the month, and I knew that I was being talked to differently, because I was being told to like place these orders, because if I don't do it by a certain time tonight, the website's gonna crash, which is total BS. Like, the website was not gonna crash. But anyway, long story short, I ended up spending quite a bit of money in order to get the promotion. Now, it was a very significant amount. It was a $5,000 bonus. So for that month, I would have gotten paid $500 extra. I didn't spend nearly that. It was worth it to a certain degree, because I bought all products I would use anyway. I would just had extra, and I was going to profit at the end of the day. But it did take a long time of like trying to weigh out, is this worth it? And again, it's not sustainable, because that meant the next month I had to try to fill in customers in that spot, which I already was unable to do, obviously, in order to keep that bonus. So I was not going to see $5,000. I saw $500. And I don't know, maybe that's attributed to work ethic, whatever, but either way, that's where it was. Like, I spent money to make money and then could not maintain it. So while I wasn't like the horror story where I bought thousands and thousands of products, because you don't need to have inventory in Itworks. You sell, like, everyone goes to through your website. You don't buy product to have to sell it or market it or whatever. Obviously, if you're using the products, you yourself and your integrity are more intact, because you can say whether you like the product or not, but you don't need to specifically buy it to sell it to somebody, like from your hand to their hand. You can sell it to anyone, anywhere. So that, was a good thing. And I've heard that in the horror stories about like MLM, like that you have to buy so much. And I know some companies are like that. Itworks is not, so you don't have to worry about it in that respect. But after that, like I said, I cut ties with them, and it was kind of intense. It was very hard to do it without them, because they got me out of that group chat. They got me out of our team page, which in addition to all of those posts I was talking about earlier, like, had information about what was going on in the company, different trainings, what people were doing, which I would take ideas from that worked for me, even if I wasn't doing everything that they said, you know what I mean? So I literally was doing Itworks kind of on my own. I was literally an independent distributor, so independent that all of the teammates that I did still talk to, they decided they didn't want to do Itworks anymore. And I just kept hanging on, because again, I love the products, and I thought, I don't want to give up on this before I've given it time. I've been successful. Let's see where it goes. And for the next few months, I got customers, sporadically, definitely not anywhere near at the rate I did when I first started. I felt like that was kind of like a sign to keep going, that eventually, like, it was going to work, doing it my way, not spamming people, not overly posting, just getting myself out there, showing how I use it in my daily life was gonna be enough. And showing that I love these products, and trying to go back to where I was in the beginning. But I think by that time, I had spammed so many people, bugged so many people, exhausted like a lot of people, to the point where they just didn't care anymore. They were interested in my journey, but they wanted nothing to really do with the Itworks part of it. So we flash forward to the new year. A new product comes out, actually several, but the main being the Thermophyte X, which is supposed to help you lose 30 pounds in 90 days. And I was super excited about that. That seems like a healthy amount. I already liked their other product, Thermo Fight, so I figured this was going to be awesome. I got a few customers that wanted to try it with me. And then it went out of stock, and even the people that ordered by the dates they said were not getting them. In fact, I still have not gotten mine or Jacob's bottles that we paid for. We ordered them plenty ahead of time. They were part of our auto shipment, so it's so confusing to me that they're still not here. And I know that they're trying to make up for it, but I haven't really been keeping up with the emails. Just when it shows up, I guess it'll show up. The thing that really upset me way more than that was that all of the people that I looked up to were posting these before and afters. One of already thin girls who allegedly lost 11 pounds in 2 to 3 days. 11 pounds in 2 to 3 days. They didn't even look like they had 11 pounds to lose. I don't know. And the thing about it is they were all different pictures. They were not the same person. And it was always 11 pounds, always 2 or 3 days. And at that point, I'm like, what am I supporting? Because that's so unrealistic. I did get my first bottle, and well, I did lose 3 pounds in a week, which to lose the 31 pounds in 90 days, you should be losing around 2, which is healthy. And I was happy with it. But then I'm seeing these posts that made me feel just as bad as when back in the summertime when they were telling me that it was my fault that I wasn't getting customers. Because what am I doing wrong that I'm only losing 3 pounds in a week when these girls are losing 11 pounds in 2 to 3 days? And you know, they always say, like in the post, and she's not even eating that great and she's not exercising. So it's not that, supposedly. Like, I should be losing 11 pounds in 2 to 3 days from taking these pills. And I was eating healthy and exercising. So I don't know. That struck a bad chord with me. But again, I still love the product, so I kept going. But the light bulbs were just going off. So then I was watching this video on YouTube about supplements and stuff. It was just someone I was watching, had nothing to do with Itworks, and she was talking about looking at supplements and making sure that they don't say something like proprietary blend. She said that, and a light bulb went off for me, like, proprietary blend. That sounds familiar. And the reason you don't want your supplements to say that, I guess, is because the people that put that on there can list all of the ingredients, and you do not know how much of each ingredient is in there. So if a weight loss product boasts that you can lose weight because it has some sort of specific ingredient in it, they don't have to tell you how much. It could be the littlest amount that is not even going to do anything for you, and they can list it on there, and they can like boast that that's why it's such a great product. And so I went to my stuff, and every single Itworks product, all the way down to hair, skin, nails, says proprietary blend. I was so mad. And that is not to say that Itworks products are bad, because I've been using them all this time and I felt really good. But I could not, in good conscience, continue to sell something to people knowing that there's the possibility that there's this much of the ingredient that they're boasting in their product. It made me so upset. And like I said, they were working for me to a certain degree, so I don't know that it's necessarily a problem. But the fact that all this time I thought proprietary blend meant something like a special blend or like their own unique blend, like I was not thinking about it in the way that those terms were put to me in that video. And I looked it up, I researched it, and I was like, wow, like I've just been blindly putting this out there just as much as anybody. So that was the last straw. That night I canceled my membership. I decided I wasn't going to sell Itworks anymore. It wasn't until this week, it's been like a month Now, I'd say that I really just started thinking about like all of the things that I did, the ways that I talked to people, the ways that I was posting, and how it affects other people. And even though I know my intentions were good, so many people's intentions aren't. They are just trying to sell. And because I was associated with that, like, nobody knows me. The people I'm posting to don't necessarily know me. And I think they grew to know me, and they know that I am on my own fitness and weight loss and health journey. So I'm not trying to put it out there to people just to sell it. But at the same time, I'm always getting new followers, and they don't know that. I've had people say that, you know, that what I'm doing is wrong. I'm like promoting unhealthy like body image issues with people. That's not the right term, but you know what I mean. And obviously, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I went into it so naive and pure in my intentions that I totally was blind to all of the negative things. So now that we're reaching the end of my journey here, so I just want to say, like, the positive things were, like, obviously I didn't lose money. I actually ended up profiting in the end. This year it kind of started going the opposite direction, but obviously I'm done. So thankfully didn't lose money from this. But that is not everybody's story. But I also didn't become a millionaire either. So I think after all of my expenses and stuff, I made like $1,000, and which sounds really great, and it's extra money is extra money. But when you think about some people that are out there trying to sustain their family, possibly become stay-at-home moms, like they're given that promise, I'm sure you definitely can if you're that kind of person and do exactly the way they tell you. There's still no guarantee, but I know for sure if you do it the way I did and you felt like you were putting in so much effort, only to come out at the end of a year with $1,000, I know you're not feeding your family on that. I made a lot of friends, some of the people that had joined my team, some of my customers, some of the people that I just talked to that didn't end up being customers, like they ended up being people that I would consider friends or acquaintances. So that's cool. I've met a lot of cool people, and I'm really excited about that. I followed a lot of new cool and interesting people on Instagram and Facebook that I wouldn't have if I hadn't have done this business. So it definitely opened me up to new relationships. Like I said, I got heavy into self-development and all of that stuff, so I'm really excited about that. And I feel like I just became a lot more positive person, and having gone through this experience makes me know, like, okay, well, now I'm not gonna jump into something like that because it is not the kind of person that I am. The negative obviously was I didn't make as much money as I thought I was going to make. I had these really toxic conversations with people I thought were supposed to be my friends and mentors. I blocked people. I had my own toxic conversations with people, maybe not as many as some people probably do, because I tried to avoid those kind of pushy, salesy conversations for the most part, but there definitely were some, and I honestly wish I could take them back, because even when I thought I was helping the person, I was being pushy and salesy, and I was just blind to that because I thought I was helping them, but I was in that mindset, and that's just... I wish I could take it back. If you're watching this and I had that conversation with you, just know that I'm sorry. So honestly, it's not something I would recommend getting into, especially without doing a lot of research. If you do your own research and you are cool with it, you know, go for it. It can be probably a good experience, but even someone who fell so in love with it, like I said, it was kind of like a relationship. I was so in love with it, so blinded, so excited about it. And I was so deaf and blind to what people had to say about it. I just kind of tuned them out or blocked them or whatever. So for me, it was just not, it didn't end up being everything I hoped it would be, everything I thought it was. And now I'm here. So I would love to hear if you have experience with Itworks or maybe some other MLM. You can leave a comment below, like this video if you agree with what I have to say or liked what I had to say, or if this helped you in any way, and subscribe for more videos. I try to post semi-regularly. And until next time, see you later, guys.
And I screen your calls, 'cause we don't talk anymore.